Good morning. Who is ready for this episode? Because I am. I've been ready for this episode for a long time. And I think, honestly, Keaton has been too. Keaton, can you explain what you're doing there, buddy? Give us a little rundown.
So I went to my local tobacco connection, and I walked in, and I asked, I said, what do you guys have any of that DAC pack? And they were confused. And I said, what about the Sirianni, the Sirianni special? Said, nah, man, we ain't got that. And I was like, no, you got to have that DAC pack. So I walk in their humidor, and sure enough, they have this nice little, Now, the only reason it's not lit is because I'm indoors. And I don't need to smoke people out, but I will be lighting this hoe up after the stream. So.
Oh, yeah.
New DAC pack in the ear, this gas or what?
My God, we'll talk about it later, but whew, that was bad. That was surprisingly bad, even for the Cowboys. I'm excited to talk about that. But we got a lot of good information this week for sure.
Yeah, we do.
Fellas, anything happened over the weekend that was fun, funny, interesting, all the above?
So it snowed a lot today and yesterday and the day before. And this morning I'm leaving to go to work. I got stuck in my neighborhood trying to leave, and I was dog sitting, so I had to walk back a quarter mile trying to get in my just regular tennis shoes in shin deep snow, and grab a shovel from their house and shovel the ground to get my car unstuck. And then I get to work, and it was a bunch of the that black ice that you can't see.
Right.
And I
start slipping and sliding.
Yep. I step outside my car, immediately biff it and fall backwards. And I just kind of lay there on the concrete. Just today's not my
God
day.
take me.
Not my day. So
at least your ankle didn't get taken out with it.
True. I almost slipped 2 more times. And then at my work, I watched 3 people get into car accidents.
Not good.
No.
Not good at all.
I even sent.
How are you doing?
No. Go ahead.
Doing pretty good.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Speak up, please.
Are you winning, son?
Not Dak.
And
not Mac.
It sounds like you're about to be in one of those commercials for the people that smoke too much and they have the little hole in their neck. They're like, I've been a smoker for 30 years.
Dude, it's bad.
I was a smoker for 30 years.
I introduced everyone to vaping in high school.
Dude, so bad.
I know no such thing.
Might you cut that.
Cut that.
All right. Let me go back to my Google Docs here. I probably should keep that open. It's probably going to be a lot of.
I was a smoker once.
It's been going off and on.
I smoked in junior year of high school.
Hey, hold on.
Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
All right. Well, we had what a crazy week of football.
Well, Ant, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So how did it happen? Just randomly?
Yeah, dude, I just woke up this morning and my throat was really sore, and then just started hurting a lot. And then I've been talking all day at work, calling people and everything.
Right.
Oh,
that's unfortunate. Well, it's good that you at least told the viewers what's happening, and he'll probably be on mute for a lot of this. So we'll try to portray at least what he was, telling us over the last week and what he has been ranting about for the last week as well.
Yeah, we're basically playing ant charades today.
Yeah.
Ant's going to be...
Start signing. He pulls a Tua. He's like...
No, I'm going to... I don't know.
And do me a favor. Go while Zach and I are talking football. Go gargle with warm salt water. And that's not like a sus thing. That's a genuine thing. It will help your voice.
Pause.
It's a genuine thing. Warm, like microwaved water with a little bit of salt in it. I'm telling you, just gargle with it, spit it out. You're good. Life hack right there.
Why do you have to heat it up?
The hot water soothes the throat. I'm telling you, it's a real thing.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually is a thing. My parents had me do that as a kid as well.
Mm-hmm. I still do it now to this day.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
we hope you feel better. If there's anything that you want us to portray or say, just type in the chat or start throwing up some gang signs. Either way, we'll do our best.
Like Tua?
That's what I was saying, bro.
There you go. Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers.
Trigger fingers turn into pig fingers, bro. Him and Dak, they love them picks in the playoffs. I got knocked.
Yeah, they do.
I need to stop talking too much.
You've been talking too much.
Because I'm going to come on next week and an upset will happen, and I'll be way too depressed. I'll be like Anthony, except I can't speak. I'll just choose not to.
If the Niners get eliminated, I will legitimately smoke this live. So,
let's just not say that. How about we not say that? I can't do it for my fucking mental health, man. I can't do it for my mental health. If it happens again, I'm done. I'm done. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a break from the podcast. I resign for a week.
We'd bring Tyler Lewis on.
No,
we could all
you guys would have an insane podcast, though.
Just be an
hour. It might be like 2 hours of Brock Purdy instead of an hour like last
time.
I can't do that. No, I'm just kidding. I'll do it, but let's not.
Can we talk about the Texans and Browns game?
Hold on, wait. We have some big news.
We do.
And Bill Belichick's he's an Atlanta Falcon, brother. I feel like that's pretty big news. Bill Belichick is a.
When was this announced? When was this announced?
He is from New York Post and Fox News. He is almost a guaranteed lock. He is the only one out of who they interviewed to secure a second interview, and he is almost a guaranteed lock.
I kind of like that.
I saw that the Falcons interviewed him along with Jim Harbaugh.
They did, but they interviewed him a second time, and they didn't invite Jim Harbaugh back.
Interesting. Okay, so
I'm not saying it's happened, but it feels like it's a lock, and it makes sense.
No, at that point it feels like it's going to be a lock. I find it interesting that that we talked about how Bill Belichick wasn't off the Patriots yet last week, and literally the next morning, the day that the episode is going to release, the Patriots and Bill Belichick split ways basically. So I found that kind of interesting, kind of funny actually, and ironic. That was kind of devastating. I was actually kind of sad. I know in one episode I said I wanted him gone, and then after that, once, like I said, I got clarity that we just suck, I was like, all right, I kind of want him to stay. Like that, I don't know. That's just he's the GOAT of coaches. He's just an iconic person on the Patriots in general, right? If you think of the Patriots, you go immediately to either Brady, Gronk, Edelman. If you want, you could go Randy Moss, but also you have Bill Belichick.
Bro left out Chris Hogan, like we wouldn't notice.
Yeah, no, I'm not putting Chris Hogan in that. But anyways, I was pretty sad about that. Hearing about that.
What about Danny Amendola?
I knew one of you guys were going to say Danny Amendola. He was pretty good.
That's what I was trying to think of.
That little midget was a dog, man.
Yeah. You can't say that. Can't.
He's really small. He's actually smaller than me.
Okay. Well, that's not saying much, but that's saying a lot, actually.
Actually, no, he's not. Sorry.
Yeah.
But,
wait, that's not who. That was one of the people that I was thinking of.
You're thinking Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, Woodhead. That's who it was.
Sick name. Anyway, Rex Burkhead. Dude, there's so many heads. More head. Rex Burkhead.
Danny Woodhead. He's like my height, man. He ran a 4.33. Holy moly!
Dude, he's a little speedster. Anyway,
Sorry, sorry.
No, but you're good. All in all, though, like it happens. It was gonna happen. We all kind of saw it coming. And yeah, if he's on the Falcons, good for him. I really hope the Falcons do really bad though, because if they do really good, I'm gonna be pissed.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who the OC is there, but if they're any decent with their defense and the capability that he has of coaching a good defense, the Falcons could be a pretty decent team next year. I
they
just
have
saw a
terrible
tweet
quarterback,
that said
so it
that
depends on who they
Kirk
get.
Cousins might follow him to Atlanta. That would be crazy. That would be an epic duo. I would like that. And Atlanta has all the weapons. Honestly, it's just coaching at this point. Although,
wait, who would Kirk Cousins follow?
Belichick.
He would follow Belichick
Why?
to Atlanta.
Where did Belichick ever have anything to do with him, or is it just like a hey, it might fit?
No, I think it's just like a fit. Like I think Kirk Cousins is open to it, and it seems like obviously if Bill lands that spot, that would be like one of the main spots that he would be looking into. But
I'm on Twitter right now.
Dude, that would be a cool fit. So. Although I don't know, the Falcons seem like they kind of need an offensive coordinator or like an offensive-minded coach. Like that's where they really struggled, especially with all of their weapons. With all of their weapons, like come on now. But I could see it. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, God, what a week of football.
Yeah, let's go to our predictions. Honestly, should we just pull up the bracket and talk about it? Because
do you still have the bracket?
Did not do well.
I
don't think we like officially did one, right?
We didn't do one like that. We just talked about it. I can pull up the bracket right now, though.
Next season, we're gonna make our own bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So,
looking it up right now.
I can share mine.
Yeah, I mean, wild.
Am I sharing or no? Actually, no. I'll just let you guys do it. No, I can't because it's saying that I need 2 computers or 2 monitors. So, when do you guys do it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Got it. Oh, that was just like, wait, that's not it.
Yeah, I got you, Aunt. Don't worry about it. Because I can just run it on my second. It makes more sense.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just can't find one that's big enough, like photo-wise or image.
That's what she said.
I can't. Yeah, I know, right? And I can't like zoom in. So
yeah, you're good. I got you.
Get a closer look.
Okay. That POV.
I don't like how you said that, brother. Not gonna lie. That POV. It sounded very sexual.
Oh, Keaton, that was the point.
Well, shut the fuck up, pussy.
All right. Okay. Now would be the time to do the Naughty America.
There we go. Well, let's just do this instead. All right. We are back. Hold on. Wait. Here we go. Okay. Well, crazy week. We had Philly. Let's go from top to bottom. Actually, should we go? Yeah, let's just go from top to bottom. So we had Philly, Tampa Bay.
Now, do we all remember what our predictions were?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure I think I took the Eagles.
I think we all took the Eagles. Which bad take?
No, I don't know if I took the Eagles. I might have taken the Bucks. See, this
I think you did. Yeah, you did. You
took the Bucks
because you were against us. Yeah.
And Zach and I had the Eagles. Look, and to be fair, I said that
I will add and post our predictions.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, I just pretty much said that. I think Eagles should. I said it would be nice to see the Bucks win, but I said, but man, Eagles really should win this.
Yeah, well,
I think that's what I said about that game. And They did not.
Let's dive a little bit into and Zach, I'll let you get what you're going to say out because I want to dive a little bit into this game.
Yeah, I'll say it pretty quick. I thought the Eagles were going to win just based off experience and a team that's been there turning around what they had going into the playoffs. That did not happen, and that was obvious within the first 2 minutes. That was not happening. I mean, they played with legit zero heart. Like it literally looked like they did not want to be there. Also, that game I believe ended as 25-9, right?
No,
it genuinely could have been 50-9.
32-9. So it was
32-9. Yeah. It probably should have been 50-9. There were 3 touchdowns that were dropped.
Man, going into that Niners-Eagles game, Eagles, what were they, 9-1, 10-1?
10-1.
Niners win that game pretty handsomely. And Nick Bosa comes out and he says, look, we just provided the game plan for everybody. You collapse the pocket around Jalen Hurts and trying to get him to go outside and not cut through like the B and C gaps. And ever since he said that, man, Jalen Hurts has been limited on the run and his dual threat ability has been very much mitigated. And teams are now forcing him to throw the ball, which like systematically he has not proven he's been able to do. Like even last year, he was really good because of his ability to like space the field because of his ability to run. Because you couldn't blitz him because then someone over top is open. But then if you didn't put enough pressure on him, he's running. So it was really hard to contain him. After the Nick Bosa comment, it was very apparent that team was not functioning. And it's amazing to me. There was I think it was the post-game press conference after this Bucs game. Nick Sirianni was asked. They said, let's say you come back next year, like what is your solution? He said, I don't, or maybe it was the week before, but he basically said, he's like, I don't know if I don't have an answer for how to fix this. And it's like, brother, if you are an NFL head coach and you're getting paid good money, there is no reason you shouldn't have an answer on how to fix a broken offense. If that's what you
the answer is to get rid of him.
Exactly.
That's the answer.
And man, I was watching the Manning cast and they had Ray Lewis on there. And Ray Lewis is like one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And he was watching the play where James Bradbury gets cooked and then Kevin Byard gets cooked. And for like, it went from like a 6-yard screen pass to a 30 or 50-yard touchdown, whatever. And he's like, dude, they're just like, they don't want to tackle. Like the angle.
Yeah, he literally watched it. It was just like, wow.
He said, when you play football, they teach you about angles. And like, he's like, I'm watching this right now. They have the worst angles to the ball. So I don't think Patricia, who first and foremost, whoever brought in Patricia as the defensive coordinator should fired. Get him out of there.
Fired.
Which it might've been Howie Roseman. So get him out of there.
It probably was.
And Nick Sirianni, if he's saying he doesn't have an answer for how to fix that team, get him out of there. Jason Kelce might retire. It was just a sloppy game. Jalen Hurts, who's played awful, and I witnessed it at the Seahawks Eagles game. I'm actually on the field right now, reporting live from Seattle, and this is where it happened. And what I noticed in that game and I noticed in this game is that Jalen Hurts is very uncomfortable when he can't do his own thing. There was a scene, or there was a play where he took that, he dropped back 11 yards and took a safety. And then when they were down by a single score, he took a safety. And then the Bucs immediately go down and score a touchdown. And that was the game. That was literally the game. And it was like 6 minutes worth of football. And it was a 9-point deficit already. So
I don't know. There was also a shot that I saw on Instagram, and it was Dallas Goedert talking to Jalen Hurts. This is the first time where I've seen an Eagles sideline that I won't say it's looking like they don't believe in Jalen Hurts, but they clearly are uncomfortable with the way he's playing. And Dallas Goedert yelled at him like something. and Jalen just did not respond. He looked honestly unemotional. And that's the first time I've really seen the Eagles almost be not confident with his ability. Like you could see it. You could see it right away. Like they're like, okay, like is he really the guy? Is he really the guy? And then, yep, this is it. Like he's clearly upset, yelling at Jalen, like not confident with his ability, upset with how the game is going. And that's really the first time I've seen that with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And then you throw on Nick Sirianni and he cries at the Super Bowl. He's a baby in the locker room. He's a chirper on the field.
What does he even do?
I saw a video, bro, where they were up against Kansas City. It was right before half. And Patrick Mahomes is like pointing to their sideline, like either talking shit or like talking to a ref or something. Mm-hmm. He points to the scoreboard and goes like this. Does like the little cry thing. Jalen Hurts has to put his hand down. I'm like, dude, like that's an issue. That's a problem.
He flipped him off.
Did he flip him off? That's what it was. He did something after, some gesture afterwards.
Jalen Hurts,
I'm like, dude, like your star young QB is having to mature you. Like that's a horrible way to run a franchise. So I don't know. I think you run it back with him one more year. If things are horrible and he doesn't have an answer, then your answer is to throw him out.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
Crazy game.
The turnaround from 6-1 or from 10-1
insane.
To losing 7 of your last 8
is insane. 7. Yeah. Although I'll say this, I really don't think the Bucs are a good football team. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man.
Don't see it.
I'm fully on the Bucs train, man.
You think they're going to win this week? We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk. I'm a little worried for the Lions, but we'll save that.
I can see it. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the next game. It was the Rams-Detroit game.
Probably one of the very few games that was actually good.
Banger,
and not a blowout.
Banger alert. Matt Stafford returning to
Detroit.
Did not disappoint. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's good, man. Returning to Detroit really for the first time in 4 or 5 years after setting multiple records with that team. I mean, he was there for Calvin Johnson. He's a fantastic player, but it's very storied. First playoff game, Jared Goff meets his former team, Stafford meets his former team, and man, it was a banger.
The scriptwriters were cooking with this one.
They really were. It was that.
I will say before you continue with whatever you're going to say. Sorry.
No.
Before we actually get into analyzing the game, I thought something that was kind of shitty with Detroit was that they booed him when he ran out. I'm like, why are you booing him, man?
Not only
Seattle did the same thing with Russell Wilson.
I don't.
His
Seattle
his wife and his family.
Seattle,
they were booing all of them too.
They all got booed. I'm like, dude, he's a legend for you guys. A legend.
See, that's where the Russell Wilson thing. Seattle did the same thing with Russ, and I was like, dude.
And he won a Super Bowl with Seattle.
I know.
That's insane.
Russ was the greatest quarterback we've ever had in franchise history. So personally, I didn't boo him, but.
Dude, that one really pissed me off. I was like, dude, what? And he took it like a man, and obviously he used it as motivation, but I just thought that was really shitty.
Mm-hmm.
For a franchise that has nothing, and he really was the only one that did anything for you guys, not good looks.
Game was wild. I gotta say, before we analyze the game, just gotta shout out Puka Nakua is a freaking dog, man.
Dude.
I keep thinking, I keep sitting here saying, he's not at some point he's gonna fall off, right? He has not fallen off.
No.
9 receptions, 181 yards, and a touchdown. Now, granted, that Detroit, this is what worries me about Detroit. Their passing offense is atrocious, or their passing defense is atrocious.
I think ranked 30th in the league.
Yeah,
30th.
So it's not good.
And then Houston's 29th.
Mm-hmm. So, Puka Nakua had his way with Detroit, but man, he is special. Anyway,
I'm trying to look something up real quick. Hold on.
Did you watch this game? Did you happen to watch it?
This
I know it's hard for you to talk, so you can keep it short.
No. You're fine. It's weird. My voice, it's off and on. If it's how I was telling Zach, it's been off and on for if it's super scrappy or if it sounds normal, but it all still hurts. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, it's fine. It's gone a lot of back and forth. I don't think I got a chance to watch this one. I don't remember why. I don't think I was around YouTube TV at the moment when this game was going on.
Yeah.
That could have been it. So I couldn't watch it because it was like on what, NBC or something like that.
NBC and Peacock.
Yeah, and Peacock. Oh, maybe that's where I watched a little bit of it. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't really get a chance to watch a lot of this one, but the game itself, judging based off of the score and then updates I was getting, it seemed like it was a very good game overall. Like, despite the Rams losing, like, that sucks. But honestly, I gotta give it to Detroit, man. I'm not gonna lie, Detroit really earned that shit.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
say what you will about Detroit and lack of winning and all that stuff and experience. Man, I think Dan Campbell is he is a trendsetter. I think because of him, right? He's a former player and he played during the Dan Orlovsky years when they went 0-16. I mean, he was a starter on that team and he was good, but obviously not good enough to win. He knows obviously what it takes to win. It's their first playoff win in 30 years, which is insane to imagine. I mean, I literally can't imagine not watching Seahawks at least win one game my entire life.
Awful.
I can't.
Awful.
It took him 2 years to turn around one of the worst franchises, arguably the worst franchise in the last 30 years, into one of the most exciting teams. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of NFL like owners and GMs that start looking at this like maybe we need more player coaches and not more analytics coaches. Because Dan Campbell's not a good analytics guy.
Yep.
He is a guy that like you speak, he speaks, you listen, like you are glued to him.
Right.
So he rallied that team. They played well.
With that being said, we'll talk about another team here too pretty soon, but I think that's starting to become a trend for sure in the NFL right now. You look at, like we said last week, Antonio Pierce. You look at, again, we'll talk about their team in a minute here, but D'Amico Ryans, Dan Campbell, specifically
we'll say
those
Mike
two,
Vrabel.
They set a trend right away. They set a trend. Typically, as a head coach or even a franchise, you sit down with the coach, with everyone that's high up in your franchise, right? So head office, coach, general manager, all of it. And you come up with a plan. Typically, when you hire a coach on a team that's not very good, you probably have 3-year plan, 5-year plan, and it's probably rebuild first year, second year, try to get to 500, third year through 5, make playoffs and try to get to the Super Bowl. But we're seeing a lot with these player coaches is that they can set a trend right away, which is the first step. You got to get the respect out of all of your players to set a trend. These player coaches, specifically Dan Campbell and D'Amico, they set a trend, made the trend happen, obviously won their division, and now they're winning playoff games, or at least one. And so it's just crazy to see that some of these coaches are kind of like defying the typical plan that you put in. And again, I don't know if it's correlation based off of them playing and just knowing how to talk to their players. I don't know if players want to play for them because they know the type of coach they are, but it's a trend. And it's a trend that is happening right in front of us. And I just think it's kind of crazy. Specifically, like D'Amico and Dan Campbell, like good NFL players, nothing superstarish, but they were good. And they both know how to lose, which is another thing.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing. And I think I really think that's the blueprint. I truly think that's the blueprint is like taking the losses in like the losses in stride and realizing like, fuck, I could be doing better. Like, I know I could coach better than this. And man, I say what you will. Dan Campbell has a squad and they are young, dude. Look, they Green Bay, man. They made it a
very
point.
Young teams.
They made it a very big point that instead of focusing on passing defense, they were gonna come at you and stop the run. And they bring in Aiden Hutchinson. They brought in, I forget, another player,
Carter
Anzalone.
Johnson. Yeah.
Anzalone's been a dog.
Mhm.
And, man, I mean, we saw it. They limited. Kyron Williams has been on a tear this year.
They look good.
And they gave him – he put up 58 yards of rushing. It was nothing.
Mike Evans might have 200, though, this week against their
That's my
pass
point.
defense.
We'll jump into that. But,
yeah.
let's
Before we continue, though, sorry, I was trying to find this, and
let's talk about the stat.
I wanted to let you guys know that this BYU 2020 team had Zach Wilson, Puka Nakua, and Tyler Algier all on the same offense.
Jeez.
Isn't that wild?
That's
And
wild.
where did they finish? Let's see.
Puka Nakua.
They finished 11th. So that team wasn't a joke. I mean, those are 3 players that are good in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
That's
and
crazy.
Puka, which is funny, I think we actually watched Puka destroy us. I know we watched Tyler Algier destroy our defense. I remember that specifically. And Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
But there was a wide receiver. I'm pretty sure it was Puka. Wait, did Puka catch the game-winning drive?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Dude, that'd be crazy if
I don't know if I was at that
Puka
game.
did.
Yeah. Anyway.
Puka might have caught that game-winning drive in the corner of the end zone. That catch for the game-winning drive. Maybe it wasn't him, but either way, he's a dog. Sorry, so we'll continue. Probably to the most surprising game of the week. I don't know if you guys think that, but I was blown away by this game.
I do.
I'm sorry.
I do. I'm
Blown
surprised.
away.
I'm not surprised Dallas lost. I'm surprised
Agreed.
at the way that they lost. I'm also surprised / more shocked and in disgust that Mike McCarthy is not fired. That
Oh my God, it makes
he's
no
coming
sense.
back for another year. What
Makes no
what
sense.
more can this guy do to get fired?
It just doesn't make sense at all.
He's
Honestly, that's
he's closer to a Waffle House heart attack than he is to getting fired. That's where he sits. Brother's gonna have heart failure before Jerry Jones.
I saw a take,
bites
bro,
the
and I
bullet.
listened to something on the way home. But this take was that it seems like Dallas likes consistency and wins over periods of time rather than inconsistencies, but winning the big games. And I'm like, dude, you cannot be the type of franchise you are right now with the past that you've had. That's just not who you are. The Cowboys are winners. Let's be honest. The last 25 years, they have ruined their reputation with that.
Yeah,
I just don't understand. If Mike McCarthy is the type of coach where you think he's going to consistently get you 10 wins but lose, you got to fire him. Fire him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you also got to get rid of Dak. I don't know. That's
weird dynamic.
Love the dude.
Yeah.
He's a great dude, but
Talking
he is
on the
not a good football
Packers.
player in the clutch.
Yeah.
Talking on the Packers, isn't it crazy that Jordan Love was looking like Aaron Rodgers out there?
Dude, he's flicking the ball exactly like him.
Okay,
It was
I
crazy.
need to shout out my old roommate Phil. He's a diehard Packers fan. Grew up in Wisconsin. We had a conversation about this a few weeks ago, and right before he moved out, it was along the lines that I think as fans we are so quick to judge successes off a few poor weeks, and I think a lot of us forgot early on that Jordan Love was a rookie, technically, in actual playing standards. This was his first full season on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And he had really good moments, and then he had a very poor, 5 in a row weeks. Man,
Mid-season, it was not good.
Mid-season was not good. He hit a slump, and then he figured it out.
Since then, bro,
He looks so good right now. I'm genuinely, I'm interested to, we'll jump into this, but
right.
man,
Shocking
he looks
game.
good.
We already talked about it a little bit, but
Blowout.
I mean, it's always F the Cowboys, but that one shocked me, man. I mean, Dak Prescott in that game was honestly unbearable to watch.
He really was.
They had, I forget his first name, but King, number 26 for the Packers. He's been a pretty decent zone cover cornerback for the last couple of years.
Desmond
Nothing
King?
all pro like. Desmond King, thank you. nothing all pro. Like he's been a good cornerback for the Packers since he started with them. But my God, he looks like the best player on the freaking field. I mean, he literally sat in the middle for that second pick that Dak had. That was a pick 6. He sat in the middle of the field and literally just shadowed CeeDee Lamb on a slant. Sat there. He literally caught the ball like this, like right in front of him. He barely had to move, and I was like, Dak, what are you doing? Like he was like forcing it into him. I just think
I don't know, man.
Dak is just not built for the playoffs, man, and it's pretty evident. Like that Dak pack is legit in the playoffs, man. Like it's free
right now.
It's free every year, and it's hitting every time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous.
Jordan Love is coming for you.
Nervous.
Anyways.
Swiggity swiggy.
Anyways. Then the Eagles lost to the Bucks, and the Rams lost to the Lions, meaning it is Bucks and Lions playing now for the NFC. So those are the next 2 games we have for the NFC.
Wow, it's wild.
And
are we making our predictions now, or
I say
oh
no, let's save it. Save it.
Okay. Well, jumping back into the games from last week, I genuinely think this is the most surprising game of the week. I'm not gonna lie. I thought
you said that
Cleveland
about Green
was
Bay
gonna come
and
in.
Dallas.
Huh?
I thought you said that about Green Bay and Dallas.
Most surprising game in the idea that I didn't see it coming like at all. I could see the Cowboys choking, and I said that. I think the score was more shocking with that Dallas game. This game shocked me up and down. Like the whole game shocked me. Every aspect of this game shocked me.
This game was honestly so boring.
I could not believe Joe Flacco threw 2 pick 6s. I couldn't believe that
CJ
Stroud looked that good as a rookie. I just couldn't believe it.
CJ Stroud is not a rookie, brother. He is
He's
a
10-year fucking vet. I mean, I couldn't believe it, honestly. I was shocked watching it. I genuinely was shocked. Jaw on the floor, shocked. But shout out to Houston, man. Honestly, good for them.
They really have a squad, man. You know what?
They really do.
You know what? We will jump into this. Baltimore's got their hands full. Baltimore has their hands full.
I can see it.
Well, look, I'll make this quick. I was getting off work trying to watch the game because it had started when I was still at work, so I didn't get to catch the first half. I tuned in to watch the Texans go up by a little bit, and then Joe Flacco immediately throws a silly pick 6.
I couldn't believe it.
And I was like, okay, well, Joe Flacco does have 6 interceptions to 8 touchdowns this year, so he was going to have his one. But, they're only down by like 14 at this point. Like momentum swinging, but it's not that bad. Immediately, 3 plays in, throws another pick 6, and I literally just turned off the game. I was like, that's it.
Is Joe Flacco elite?
I hate that question because one hand I want to say yes. Anyway,
I don't want to talk about it. I can't.
Man, Houston has a squad.
Wild to see this week.
3 years into a rebuild, and they dominated. Dude, CJ Stroud let his nutsack hang
on the number 1 rated defense
all
in the
over
league.
The number 1 rated defense in almost every single metric.
Couldn't believe it, bro.
He was like, I don't, and I have the receipts. I will add this in post. I did say Nico Collins is back. He is going to have a game, and he had a fiesta.
Dude, Nico's him.
Nico Collins, dog.
Okay, also,
he's nuts.
Yeah.
Before we continue, the amount of wide receiver talent in the league right now is actually ridiculous. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
We are spoiled.
It's the most talent I've ever seen at this position by far. There is a wide receiver 1 pretty much on every team, and then some teams have 2. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, look at the rest of these teams. Every single one of these teams, besides maybe Green Bay, has a wide receiver 1. And Kansas City.
Patriots.
I mean, there's some around the league, but
Tank Dell is also and Nico Collins were from the same draft class.
It's actually wild, man.
Oh no, they were not. But still, they're both 24 years old.
Where the hell did Nico Collins go to school? Oh, he went to University of Michigan. Anyways, that was a cool game for Houston. Not what I expected. This next game, I think, was kind of expected by all of us. Did we all pick KC? I think we did.
Yes, we did.
Mhm.
Yes, we did.
Kind of what we thought. Snow game, although they passed for a lot more than I thought they would against Miami's D. Not to say that Miami's defense is good or anything, but I just thought the snow would be a bigger factor.
Not only that,
but
but just in
yeah, I don't
general,
know.
it's snowing. Like,
It wasn't
Exactly.
just snowing.
It's hard to bet on KC, especially in a wild card game. Like, even though I don't think they've been there with Patrick Mahomes, I just would not bet against him until an AFC Championship. And I'll explain that later, but I think we can move on. That game was kind of a snooze fest.
I gotta say real quick, and I'm not gonna lie, did not watch an ounce of this game. I watched maybe 10 minutes. It was on Peacock, and I was not going to pay for it. I'm sorry. I'd
Right.
rather just not watch football than pay for something I don't need. Anyway, I got the game, and
do you not have Peacock?
no, why would I pay for it?
Oh, do you want my account?
No, I'm good. The house I was staying at has they had this thing called Voodoo Streams built into the TV. You could basically like live stream any sport, and so I got the KC Dolphins game, but it was near the end. The game was over. I was like, I'm not going to watch it. Anyway, one thing I did see was the fans saying that the game was rigged and that there was some like BS penalties. And honestly, I could understand if it was a one-score game, but your offense scored 7 points. Like, okay, a roughing the passer, you lose a little bit more. Your offense scored 7 points. It doesn't matter. Like, if
Not
you
gonna lie. Miami fans are starting to get up there, man. They're starting to get a little irritating. And I want to talk. I'm a Niner fan. Miami this year, I was like, whoa. Like, hey, know where you came from. You ain't like this. You guys aren't like this. But continue. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all I have. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
It's just I'm over it, dude. I'm over I have never been one to complain about calls and stuff like that. I am so over the ref ball, like refs have an agenda. Granted, I think there are some plays like that Detroit Lions Cowboys game where the refs had an agenda at the end of that. But I'm so over like all the fans just saying game's rigged. Oh, they want Patrick Mahomes to play Buffalo. Dude, just be better. Just literally be better. It doesn't
Tua. Be better.
Your team can't beat anybody over 500. I'm tired of hearing, oh, it's the fans or it's the refs. Right. No, your team's kind of sucks.
Exactly.
They're literally the Eagles of the AFC.
Or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Well, but the Cowboys were dominant all year. I'm talking about like how they just fell off near the end. Both teams had the division lead going into the like near the last week and then choked it. So I'm just tired of hearing about the fans and all that.
Right.
So, I didn't watch any.
And then this last game, kind of a blowout. I don't know. Pittsburgh came back for a bit, and then Buffalo ended it. But that was kind of a boring game too. It was kind of what we expected as well. No TJ Watt. That defense looked like they were playing JV ball. The Bills moved on.
Got it. I do have to moan a little bit. It's gonna sound hypocritical. Did you guys see the play where Josh Allen faked the slide?
I did see that. That was crazy.
So you
saw
on
his 52-yard. It was his 52-yard run touchdown.
He basically faked a slide. He did the Kenny Pickett.
Wait, maybe I didn't. I don't know.
And I don't know. It was kind of subtle. It was a little less Kenny Pickett, but I do have to say that's got to be a rule that gets changed because immediately he took off for another run similar, and then he actually slid, and the linebacker didn't know if he was going to commit to the slide or continue running, so he hit him while he was going down for the slide, and then they called a roughing the passer. So even though Pittsburgh had no shot of winning, gotta say that's the one rule that's been irking me.
That's pretty bad, bro. That is the one. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. The game was a blowout. Tomlin
Okay.
somehow he's coming back. That's all I gotta
Yep,
say.
I saw it as well. Blasphemous,
So-
but let's get into it, fellas. Who do we have winning this weekend?
Let's go from left to right. So let's go Green Bay to Texans to Bucks to Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
This is going to be a tough game. I thought it was going to be, no matter what, I thought it was going to be just a blowout, right? But I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be a fun game. I hope it's a fun game. I think the Niners are going to win. But I truly hope this is actually just going to be a close game, because I think in general that'll just be a lot of fun. The Niners and the Packers, they've had history in the past in the playoffs. Niners have either completely dominated them, or they have won, or it's been a very, very close game and low scoring.
Mhm.
It's exactly how it's been in the wild card or in the divisional, either or, same thing. So I'm curious. I really hope this is going to be one of those games where it's just going to be a close game, right?
Yep.
But I still think
like
Niners should win it. Niners should win this.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say.
Zach, go ahead.
Okay. I'll try to make this quick.
I need this.
But I have a couple takes for sure.
Go ahead.
Number one, this game scares me for multiple reasons. One, Green Bay is a very good zone defense. Two, Jordan Love is a mobile, accurate quarterback. Both recipes for disaster for the Niners, both of them. And when I say a good zone defense, I think specifically of the Ravens, who have the best zone defense in the league. Obviously, they're not that good. But with that being said, we throw the ball in tight windows all the time. And against a zone defense, that is a recipe for disaster. We saw that in the Baltimore game. Brock loves to be ballsy with those throws. And I think he could get caught slipping with one or two balls in this game, which I hope won't happen. But if we were to lose, we would lose because we lost a turnover battle. So I could see that happening. I'll also say the 9.5 point spread for the Niners.
Wild.
I think I would bet my house on Green Bay covering. I think that's insane. There's also been a lot of beef with just random fans and people in the organization kind of talking. There was a defensive lineman that said if we get pressure on Brock, that he'll make a mistake, which obviously he has not watched film because Brock has the highest completion rating while being pressured in the league. It's typically when he does not have pressure and he stays in the pocket, starts overanalyzing, that he throws a pick. So I'll say that probably gave us a little bit of extra motivation. And then I also saw a commentator. I'm assuming that you guys saw it too, or I'm sure that you saw the video that Diego put into our chat. But there was either a commentator or someone that just likes the Green Bay Packers. He's a fan that just talks, and he was saying that he basically condones the Packers getting a late hit or giving a late hit on Brock Purdy as long as it's worth it in the game. I thought that was blasphemous, especially going against a physical team like the Niners. That's probably the last thing you want to say to a team that has Dre Greenlaw. Unnecessary roughness is his middle name, so he'll be getting a penalty. So I think that was probably the one thing you did not want to do for the 49ers would be to rile them up physically, especially in a game where you obviously lack physicality against the Niners.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think this is going to be like a 27-20 type of game. The Niners don't win comfortably. And I'll say this, if Green Bay comes out firing, it will scare me. I think it's going to be like 7-14 going into half, maybe 10-7 because the Niners haven't played. They're a little rusty, and then they come out firing and win by 7. That's my guess.
Well, I'll make this fast. Green Bay, I'll make 3 points. So, one, I think Green Bay's shot at winning comes from starting the game strong.
Yep.
We saw this. It is a recipe for teams to beat the Niners by getting to him early, getting pressure on Brock, getting him a little uncomfortable in the pocket, whether or not he's accurate with the ball, just make him second guess what he wants to do with it. the Niners traditionally have a pretty low success rate in games that they are either behind in or like you can tell when the Niners are losing momentum.
Yeah.
Kind of happened against
Almost a
Seattle. Obviously
0%
happened
with Kyle Shanahan.
Yes,
It's like 3 and 50.
So I think in order for the Packers to win, they have to start the game like hot. They cannot have a bad first quarter. Like a bad first quarter, you give the Niners momentum, it's hard to get that back.
They cover the spread.
However, I am interested to see. Obviously, the bye weeks are kind of a trap sometimes because your team hasn't played in 2 weeks. So regardless if they're all healthy, Green Bay's coming
and Brock
off.
has it in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Because he did not play in that Rams game.
Some of those players have not played in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Green Bay's coming off a huge win against Dallas where they looked primed. So I think Niners do win this, but I think it'll be close. But I do agree. I think it's going to be like a 27-21 type game. However, if Green Bay gets going early, I could see this going Green Bay's route, but I don't think that happens. So, well, let's move on. Let's move on to another our other number 1 seed game. So that's Houston Texans versus Baltimore. This is my AFC. Well, all these games kind of look like bangers. So this is a banger. Like, and I know bangers. This is a banger.
This is a banger.
God, Houston at Baltimore. I mean, two fantastic, like a defense that. Okay, let's be real. I think we're underestimating how good Baltimore is.
They're very good
because Texans look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore is a whole different. They made the Niners look like the Dallas Cowboys against the Packers. It was an embarrassment. So I will say I think Baltimore wins this by a good margin. However, I would not be surprised if Texans put up a very nice first half score. I believe in the second half, Baltimore will tighten the clamps and just let Lamar rip across this defense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
Ravens are going to take it. However, Texans are going to put up a really good fight.
However,
I
love it.
Pretty much, Keaton summed it up perfectly. What he said just now was literally what I was thinking the entire time. I would say that Ravens will go into halftime still winning, but I would say at least by 3. Winning by 3 going into half. After that, then Ravens are just gonna take it home from there. In the second half.
That.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. Honestly, I think the Ravens come out a little bit slow, and I think the momentum from that last game against Cleveland kind of takes over with Houston. And I think CJ Stroud will have a very good first half. I could see it being like 17-14 going in half, like you said, Ant, maybe 17-10, maybe even them losing. However, the Ravens do make a lot of good changes coming out of the half, and I think a young Texans team is not ready for that. I also don't know if CJ Stroud has seen a team like Baltimore, and I think he actually played them. Actually, look that up. Pretty sure they played.
You're looking it up. Granted, though, CJ Stroud has only gotten better, so whatever he did against them, if he did play them, and I'm not 100%.
But I was going to say, I don't think he's seen a defense like this, even if he did see them in whatever week they played.
He saw
in
Cleveland,
the playoffs,
but
he has not
Cleveland
seen a team like this.
Defenses.
2 different defenses. The Ravens led pretty much every statistical stat that actually matters for a defense, such as turnovers, sacks, all of those. So,
all that,
especially in the playoffs, I just don't think he's seen a team like that in the playoffs, and a defense specifically like that. They played in September, and he didn't play horrible. 242 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So he was sacked 5 times, but they lost pretty heavily. So I don't know. I think the Ravens take it, but I think it'll be a very, very entertaining game, like you guys said.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. Another fantastic game. This is going to be a very interesting one. This is Tampa Bay at Detroit.
Ant, go for it.
Skip me right now. I don't have an answer.
Keaton, go for it.
I think the Lions win it. I don't want to bet against Detroit. However, Baker Mayfield against Philadelphia. Now, granted, Philadelphia's defense has been poopy. Drew Lock
Historically bad.
Drew Lock cooked him. So not saying too much. Baker Mayfield has had a very, very good season. I think he's gone
a contract-worthy season, I will say.
Exactly. I think he's gone under the radar because of who he is and how he plays and kind of his situation. But when I watched the Rams game, when I went to LA to watch them against Seattle, the defense that Seattle runs is very similar to how Detroit runs their defense. And what I noticed was that Puka Nakua just was always getting those like soft 7-8 yard out routes and then just making big plays because kind of like Detroit, Seattle doesn't know how to tackle. And I think the Rams had a good formula on how to do that. However, in this one, where the Rams are primarily like a 50-50, like they're a lot of run heavy but pass heavy too. Tampa Bay has zero run game. Like they have a run game. They are fully pass heavy. It's like 70-30. Yep. And Detroit's pass defense is awful. It is awful. I would not be shocked. I really wouldn't be shocked if they won this game just off that alone. I still think Detroit wins it. I think it's probably this game's probably a little bit more low scoring, even though I'm talking about high-powered offense. But I would probably say this is like a 21-17 game. I think this is another really close one. A lot of people are underestimating Tampa, but Baker's played well, and that offense is good. So if he puts the ball where he needs to put it, I don't think Detroit kind of has a shot to stop him. They just have to match the offense and then some. So
I like your take, but I think it's going to be opposite. I think at low-key is going to be a shootout. Like, I just don't see either one of these defenses stopping the offenses. Also, I'll say this. Baker could have probably passed for 400 yards if his receivers caught the ball against Philly. Like, he had, like, I don't want to say a career-defining moment, but that was probably the best game he's had to date, at least with the situation.
I'm happy for Baker.
Said. Yeah, I am too. I like Baker.
Shout out Baker.
But with that being said, I just would not bet against the Lions in this game. Maybe for the Bucs to cover the spread, but I don't think the Bucs are that good of a football team, and I don't think the Lions are, a perfect football team. But I think they're a good football team, and they should win this. This is the type of game they should win and need to win in order to continue their success in the NFC for years to come. This is one of those games they should win, move on, start looking at a different team that's better. That's my opinion.
Yep. Anything or just skip? Skip.
I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. I can't tell you exactly how it's going to play out. It could be a blowout. It could be a close game. With these two teams, I really couldn't tell you. Like, low scoring, high scoring, I don't know. Give me Detroit because I would have loved to see Detroit win this. I would have loved to see them win this. Honestly,
fair enough.
For the review, that's what I'll take.
For the content, man.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Although both these
teams
okay.
Last
Legacy.
but very not least, for what
Legacy
I think is going to be the game of the week. What do we think, fellas?
Legacy.
What do we think?
Goodness gracious.
I have my pick and I have my reasons.
Ant, go for it.
Go. Yeah, I would like to go last.
Nope,
I'd like to go last.
All right. Bills and Chiefs. Legacy game. Mahomes versus Allen.
Yep.
7 times.
Seven
times they faced off.
And I'm going to say the Bills. 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to see the Chiefs lose so freaking bad. Reason number 2. I want to see Patrick Mahomes cry again like a little crybaby. That's all I want to
That's
see.
fair.
That would make
biased,
my
though.
day. So biased. I don't care what anyone says. It is so biased.
That's fair.
I just hate the Chiefs, and I would love to see Patrick Mahomes cry, Travis Kelce cry, Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes in shambles. Be so great. So
Went
great.
from the biggest Lamar hater to the biggest Mahomes hater.
Yes.
Oh God, is that it though?
Yeah, that's it. It's
What's your
completely
score
biased.
prediction?
Give me like a 35-28.
Damn. Okay, I like that. Keaton, do you want to go last, or do you want me to go last?
I'll let you finish it off.
Okay.
So I'll take something real quick.
Okay, go for it.
I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago. No. I don't know. I mentioned not too long ago that this would be like there was a game, and I forget who it was played by, but it would be a game where Bane could come out and just blow the stadium up. I'm changing my answer. My 2 least favorite teams in the AFC. Actually, my 2 least favorite quarterbacks in the entire NFL are facing each other again for the 3rd straight year in the playoffs. I can't handle it. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Granted, legacy.
You're going to be
Josh
Bane.
Allen wins this. I'm literally just like, I might blow this stadium up, dude.
Bane Simone.
Yeah, I might do it. I think Buffalo wins, and honestly, I'd rather have Buffalo win. I honestly was hoping Sean McDermott wouldn't get to this point so he could just get fired. I was hoping Josh Allen would be exposed as a fraud. But above all else, I'm so tired of the Taylor Swift and all that stuff. I would like Kansas City to lose. However, I'm not letting bias play into that. I truly do think Buffalo is the better team. They're playing in their home stadium. They have a little bit more control over the weather, even though Kansas City is used to playing in that cold weather. Little different. Kansas City and Buffalo are a little different temperature. But I do think that the legs of Josh Allen and his mobile ability is slightly better than Mahomes. I think Josh Allen's a better scrambler. And I honestly think I think it comes down to Buffalo's receivers. They have more talent. They have a better I was going to say tight end, but that's Kansas City. But everywhere else, they're kind of better. Khalil Shakir might have a good game. Stephon Diggs is going to have a good game. So I think Buffalo takes this. I think this is a shootout. I don't think defense has anything involved. Probably 27-24 Buffalo.
Okay, fellas. Well, I think differently than you guys.
Well,
I think that the Chiefs are going to win. And I'll give you a couple of reasons why. Number one, Josh Allen against Mahomes in the playoffs is 0-2, like you just said. This will be their 3rd matchup in a row. And the Bills just remind me of kind of the Cowboys. They kind of remind me of the Cowboys of the AFC. You know, they have high expectations every year. They're a very good team in the regular season. They play the one team or the 2 teams that they don't want to play in the playoffs and lose. I think Kansas City is one of those teams. Number one, I don't want to bet against Mahomes. I don't care about the refs and all of that. Mahomes has 12 playoff wins. The second highest is actually Josh, who has 5. The difference in quarterbacks there is just insane. Number 2, the other reason and the main reason I think that they're going to win is because Kansas City's defense is legit. Like, they're not a legit defense. I'm just saying that just a bullshit. They're a legit
they're really good
defense. I think they're going to cause some turnovers. I think Snead, I don't think he'll lock Josh Allen up, or excuse me, not Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs up, but I think he will have a very good game like he did against our boy from Miami, Hill, who's probably playing Fortnite right now. But I just see, again, this game being super close, but Casey pulling it out for whatever reason. They always do it, especially against the Bills. And my score prediction is probably 28-24 Kansas City. But I will say, if I am Baltimore and I think I'm going to beat the Texans, I am very much so rooting for the Bills. I would not want to play Patrick Mahomes in an AFC Championship. That is for damn sure. But I think this is the game of the week by a good margin in my eyes, and I could see it going either way. I just don't think the Bills are well enough equipped to beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's a fair statement.
Yeah. Well, look, I think regardless, there's gonna be some fun stuff to talk about in the next week, and a lot of storylines. I'm sure we're gonna see some new coaches get hired. We might have some information if Bill Belichick is actually a Falcon. I saw Mike Vrabel's the new favorite to be the Seahawks coach. So
I saw that as well.
Who knows what happens with that? Anyway, well, that's everything. That's it.
I
think next week.
Actually, sorry.
Go ahead.
You can finish after this. But last week we had mentioned that we're going to start a couple new segments, and I think we'll probably end up starting that next week. But just be out on the lookout for that, and understand that we like to talk about the playoffs, obviously, but we're going to start implementing some new things, and we think you guys will enjoy it for sure.
Perfect. Absolutely. And I think next week for the games, we'll do offensive and defensive players of the game.
Yep.
Introduce some stuff. And yeah, with less games, there's more storylines to talk about and more fun stuff to do. So
exactly.
Well, thanks for tuning in for this week in this episode. Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week.
Catch you all on the flip side.
Yeah. See y'all next week.
Deuces.